Good morning, guys. Kevin Cage here. Let's get right into the information. Be sure to like and sub. So, in recent news this week, we've had a bunch happen. Obviously, we know what this means for cryptocurrencies, the digital asset space, and where we see this all going in tandem with precious metals, as the housing bubble seems to almost collapse and pop, and we also see that the Fed is printing into infinity. Nothing's changing. They keep repeating the same thing over and over again, the definition of insanity. Well, this week, what have we seen? We've seen Goldman Sachs is collaborating with another RippleNet partner, Volante, to build the Goldman Sachs transaction banking platform. Well, why is this relevant? Well, for example, Volante is one of the big tech providers of the clearinghouse in the United States domestic payment system. They're also already transferring at least $2 trillion plus per day. A simple Google search you can also find will see the, Volpe, their Ripple processor module, speeds integration of the Ripple global settlement network. This has been years in the works. This is an old document. Yes, the old vernacular of Ripple Connect for the fees and foreign exchange rate quotes. Just understand that they are interconnected through a single API. This is the world that we are going towards. It is no longer hardware. It is all software rollout, cloud, etc. So just wanted to share that. You can find this yourselves if you like to. The Volpe Ripple processor module. So why is it relevant that Goldman Sachs is now teaming up with Volante to build this new banking platform? Well, it's interesting because Volpe can settle via XRP, and it's also putting banks, and I saw Wrath of Kahneman even pointing this out, it's almost putting Goldman Sachs against other banks for competition, such as Bank of America, another RippleNet partner. Now, if we are aware of the caliber of connections that RippleNet, the network of these financial institutions, have, most of them are backed by GS, Goldman Sachs. So there are no coincidences in this space. Just understand that the definition of really understanding is seeing the unity, seeing the connections between all things. And the more you research, the more it becomes clear. Okay, so let's talk about that. Now, also in other news, actually, this is really important. I wanted to bring this up before I forget. I did see a lot of people sharing this as well, that regulators in Venezuela have introduced a mandate that will regulate all Bitcoin and cryptocurrency mining. That is huge. Luckily, any proof of work projects that I do own are either migrating to a mainnet that is maybe proof of stake, or it's maybe a little Ethereum, which is hopefully in the process of fixing that. I do not want to own any proof of work. If you watched my video a few days ago talking about the importance of basically taking over the Bitcoin network, they explained in that video it only took about $200 million of hardware for a government to overthrow the entire Bitcoin network. And you guys might think $200 million a lot, but when you think of the Fed today, they can print as much money as they want on demand. So you tell me if they would think that $200 million is a large expenditure to shut down Bitcoin if it ever were to become a national security threat. You anarchists, you can act like Bitcoin was made to destroy and work outside the system and create a new world. But I think, and this is my opinion, you guys think for yourselves, full disclosure, I think this whole Bitcoin narrative, this game, it was their game from the beginning. It was their game to begin with. You can't lose. You can't lose a game where you control all the players on both sides, specifically the best players. And yes, with that analogy, I am alluding towards Ripple and what they're working on and their deep, deep connections. Okay. Also, we saw, Coinbase making additional hires from, Venmo, Google. We see Ripple hiring nonstop for obviously targeting the $155 trillion cross-border market. So it should be no surprise. Now, I want to go over this. I loved how he said this and worded this. So esoteric XRP plus XLM, obviously brother and sister, in my opinion. The chosen ones, retail, wholesale, tomato. How can some people say Stellar is dead? Stellar was designed for stablecoins before stablecoin was even a word. That is so funny. Keep in mind, Stellar is really kind of the definition of it is kind of like a structure of a star. It can also mean outstanding. Payments from WireX launching 26 stablecoins on the Stellar blockchain. Yes, I know we are aware as well of Stellar with IBM's WorldWire. Should be no surprise if you've been in this ecosystem. And yes, Jed McCaleb of Stellar was one of the original creators of XRP. Notice, platform WireX is launching 26 stablecoins. WireX is licensed by the country's finance watchdog. You guys may have heard of it, the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, which also declared over in London, I believe London, the UK, said that XRP is not a security to them. added that cryptocurrencies can be spent using its own multi-currency Visa card. WireX's card allows users to convert and spend cryptocurrencies wherever Visa is accepted. I don't even need to get into Visa. I'll probably do it in future videos. They have been going hard, just like MasterCard, till now supporting 8 cryptocurrencies and 10 fiat currencies. Talking about XLM, the currency native token Lumens, same concept as XRP. A little bit different type of, consensus overall, but really, really interesting, okay? So you can keep up with this. And yes, I do, worth the risk, I do own some XLM as well. All right. This is an actual real-time picture of the cross-border payments today. This is shared by Darren Moore, XRP Darren, guys. Definitely subscribe on YouTube. I forgot what these are actually called, but I love watching these. And this is literally the perfect picture to explain how the correspondent banking network functions today. This is behind the scenes. Everyday people have no idea what is going on. And, if one thing falls out of place, it's going to take a while to fix that before it can keep moving and get to the other side. Thought this was funny to share. Okay. Next, so Anders L sharing this, and keep an open mind when you're reading these types of statements because they do mean things. This is another gentleman that has been in the game for a while, doing years of research and providing his thoughts on Twitter, and I definitely value his opinions. You guys can decide for yourselves whether you get upset that I'm reading tweets, so be it. I'm sharing information that I think is interesting and tickles my mind. Now, people will comment in this, comment down below this video, and they'll say, I know this for certain, I know this, you're wrong, I'm right, etc. We don't know anything. When it comes down to this, and I've heard even discussions at the World Economic Forum, we still do not even know a single atom in its entirety. We have tools to explore it. We can see more and more. We see more and more parts of it every day. But at the end of the day, none of us know anything. So with that, just keep an open mind, okay? The more open your mind is, the more you can see other perspectives and entertain the thought. And then you make an educated decision for yourselves whether you want to play in this investment space, because there are risks everywhere. And for me, that is where the money is made and lost. Okay. Also, 2020, guys, we see the housing bubble. We see so much happening on it's like the perfect storm. I've never witnessed anything as crazy as this, and I'd imagine no matter what generation you're from, you're probably in the same boat, because it is absolutely astounding, specifically what Brian Brooks is saying. All right, so now let me read this. And he's implying we're looking into this and yes, drawing assumptions. Okay, so now we know why Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, said, we have regulations. He was right. We just need regulatory clarity. So regulations can really only box you in. They need to spell it out clearly. Without clarity, everyone's just going to kind of sit there and fiddle. They're not going to know exactly what to do and what step to go in because they don't want to get, they don't want to be subjected to fines. In comes Brian Brooks, formerly chief legal officer of Coinbase, now leading the entire United States banking system. And he is like a bull. He loves cryptocurrency, obviously from Coinbase. Again, Brad predicted banks would custody crypto, meaning hold cryptocurrency, and that it would surprise us. We all got excited. Yes, it was a year or two ago. Brad, and then also Katao of SBI also said large banks would use XRP. Notice, and we're prefacing this, Brad predicted banks would custody cryptocurrency by the end of, 2018, 2019? Well, he was right, but he was late, and now it happened July 22nd. We have the Volcker rule coming in October. So you guys might go, oh, we know their promises are BS. Well, they're coming into fruition, and it's really, really interesting, okay? Guns and XRP sharing this. This is, you can literally Google this as well, the incentive accelerator for XRP as well, building the network effects of Ripple, and just talking about this conclusion. And I think it is very, very telling on where this space goes. If you want to pause and read this or just look it up yourselves, very, very telling to me. Okay, notice his predictions of banks custodying crypto seem to have been delayed due to the lack of regulatory clarity. This was predicted for 2019. Things being delayed was thus implied in my tweet. That's why I included his prediction of the banks using XRP. Very, very well said. All right, now I wanted to share this. So Tim Draper, guys, as you know, $1 billion net worth per Wikipedia, if you want to take that as a source. And he also has an unstoppable domain. So I can literally type in timdraper.crypto, and it is not only a domain So when I send any cryptocurrency, XRP, Bitcoin to timdraper.crypto, he also created a decentralized hack-proof website. So really, really cool. And I have that in the tutorial step-by-step for how to create your unstoppable domain, how to link it up to your actual cryptocurrency wallet of your choice, and then how to actually sell it on the open market if you have some names that you were domain squatting with. So that's in the video description. Just click the playlist for tutorials and you will find that. All right. Right here, here's a quote from him as well. And he obviously is a very, very wealthy individual, had a bunch of BTC from Mt. Gox back in the day, also investments in Skype as well. So listen to this quote about XRP. I am an owner of Ripple XRP. Keep in mind, years ago, they called it Ripple and they differentiated the name to obviously work with regulations better. And I am a believer. I think it's happening. It's coming. It's so important for the world, and I want the world to know it, and I want other people in the world to get on board. Really, really interesting. Notice billionaire Tim Draper on XRP. And he also is involved, and I've seen him speak with groups like Link2 as well. So keep an eye on this guy. He knows what's up. Okay. Next, Adam Trademan, CEO of BRD. This is Bread Wallet and SPI Ripple Asia. He's also made predictions, and he didn't give a time, but he did say this year that I believe SPI Ripple Asia should be going live with XRP. Now, yes, I'm still excited. Yes, I have faith in this ecosystem for my own personal reasons and, research that I do. And I just feel that I know where the space is going. If you have your doubts, nobody is asking you to hold XRP. Please do what is best for you. You do not have to overinvest. Like literally, I'm just sharing content and sharing information because I am one of the biggest bulls in this space. And this is just my belief. I think the value proposition is there. And I think they're already solving a real problem. And I believe that XRP is one of those currencies that will be here to stay and work on the back end of the infrastructure, the foundational layer of the payment stack. Right here, I've got daily reports on all the transfers that are being sent using Ripple Tech from Japan, South Korea, and other places overseas. There's a lot going on. That's a real use case that is way beyond just speculation. Amen. Next, in other news, so NASDAQ, SEC registered fund manager to launch the first ever crypto ETF in Bermuda. Anytime I see NASDAQ, I think of what they got going on with R3 as well, with their integrations, paying attention to Bitstamp, things of this, nature, Bank of America, all working together, all really just trying to make trading seamless, faster, be able to source liquidity from different avenues, maybe decentralized liquidity pools. Really, really exciting. And yes, if you guys have seen PolySign with the recent patents, and last I checked, they still said to launch in 2020. So we have a few months left of the year. You guys read between the lines and decide what that means for XRP. Does it mean we are finally taking off? Does it mean that since everyone thinks we're going to take off, that we're going to be suppressed a little bit longer? You tell me. All right, decide for yourselves. This was really interesting. I watched this the other day. So this is Peter Schiff and obviously Jim Rickards. You guys are well aware of these gents. And they have a discussion here talking about the valuation of gold in, say, the next 5 years. So by 2025, these gents are talking about the possibility of a $15,000 gold per ounce. Obviously, you can read between the lines and see what that means for silver. Yes, I own precious metals, not as much as cryptocurrency, but I do own them as a hedge. Regardless, I think that obviously cryptocurrencies, if successful, have a much higher upside and multiplier effect than precious metals, but I do think it is very intelligent to hold precious metals. I mean, don't get me started. Silver is literally almost in every important piece of technology we use in cell phones, keyboards, and it is obviously a limited resource. So if you guys want to watch this and listen to their speculation talking about obviously the factors around the globe, it really is telling a very important picture for crypto assets as well. Whether you believe, a gold standard per se, I don't believe a 100% gold standard. I entertain the idea of gold fractionally backing maybe CBDCs or the new system in the future. That to me is a lot more plausible. A combination of gold and oil in the energy sector. I think that's a lot more feasible and a lot more practical rather than, I guess subjecting to just gold. That's just my opinion though. Nobody knows everything for sure. All right, we need to change this. This is very sad, and I referenced this in the previous video. 2018, the World Bank, remember the World Bank did praise Ripple's technology, XRapid, which uses XRP, is extremely innovative. Notice, nearly half the world lives on less than $5.50 a day. Unbelievable, just talking about the poverty that exists. Now remember, DLT is important. Yes, we want to make money, etc., change our families' lives and be good and not worry about, paying bills. But just understand what is at hand here. DLT, of course, there's going to be transfers of wealth and someone's going to make the money if you don't. But what's important is financial inclusion, opening up the gates and helping the people that need it most. Yes, Ripple's focusing on maybe the low value transfer for remittance, but there's bigger things at play here. And this is something that obviously we need to focus on. All right. Next, and this, we'll finish up with this. So Brian Brooks, obviously the gentleman that left Coinbase making $1 million plus to come work for the government for basically a position of much more power, says this on stablecoins. People don't even comprehend how bullish this is for crypto assets. Look at every asset that's on Coinbase. He basically wants to succeed and appreciate in price. So rapid growth of stablecoin projects may signal a blockchain-enabled payment system of the future. The guy that literally oversees the United States banking system said that. They may signal a blockchain-enabled payment system of the future, referring to literally trade finance, international payments, the United States government. If you don't believe in crypto assets, things like, XRP, Greene, and Circle working on these initiatives and working on borderless transfer, already implementing CBDCs on top of their protocol, you have your head in the sand right here. They're pleased to provide guidance to banks supporting these assets. You can go through, obviously, on the OCC.gov and also SEC.gov. If you want to read more about this, it is right here as well. So I just think that, as they've said, there's more and more announcements that they're going to be making in the coming weeks regarding payments, regarding crypto assets, stablecoin initiatives, the account reserves. People don't listen to anybody when they say, oh, the circulating supply of XRP or this or that is that. We are in unforeseen territory. We are in uncharted waters. We've never been here before. We are on the leading edge, going into the unknown. Don't let anyone create a definition telling you what is possible or impossible for you. All right? That is probably the biggest piece that I wanted to get across. Remember what I said about the atom. We don't know anything. The stock market, this market capitalization, all of these valuations are metrics of a stock. This is a new asset class that is going to swallow those asset classes and transfer them and allow all of this to interoperate. The sky's the limit. So don't listen to anybody that gives you a price prediction or a price limitation, because there are no limits. All right. With that, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, and also for, grandmothers, grandpas, older people, complete newbies that just got into cryptocurrency, feel free to show them that playlist that I made. It is just 10 videos, super basic, but hopefully there's little gems here and there that will really, really help you out. Take care, guys.